Welcome to another video from Gweilo 60. Today I'm going to be talking about something that's a little bit controversial, or could be controversial, depends on how you look at it. White privilege in China. Yeah, I always get the comments when I'm making my videos that a lot of the experiences that I experience is because of white privilege. And you know, I'll go over some things, and it's not universal in China. Different cities like Beijing, Shanghai, the tier 1 cities are basically different than a lot of the rest of China, because a lot of the rest of China doesn't have a lot of foreigners, so foreigners are maybe looked at a little bit differently. And I'm not talking about black foreigners, I'm not talking about Japanese, I'm not talking about anything but white foreigners today. So bear with me. First off, I'd like to talk about my background. Now, isn't that a pretty sight? It's 7:30 in the morning, and the clouds are still in the mountains here in Southern Guangxi province. One of the things about white privilege is, well, when a YouTuber like myself, for instance, does videos about my experiences in China, does that bring me white privilege? Yes, it does. Okay, I get approached by many people and organizations to do videos on their behalf. Why? Because I have a perspective that's different than a perspective of what a Chinese YouTuber would have, or a black YouTuber from Uganda, or even maybe America would have. I'm not sure whether I'd have a different outlook than a black person, or an Indian person, or a Native American person from Canada, but that's for another video. But people approach me, like this trip I'm on right now in this beautiful area is probably because I'm a white YouTuber from a foreign country, from Canada, because I have a different perspective. I can reach out to other people around the world where maybe a Chinese person can't. So they come to people like me and offer a trip around Southern Guangxi province, basically all paid, so that I can show you what I see. And you're basically going to listen to me more than you would maybe a Chinese person. Is that white privilege? I would imagine so. Going on to some of the comments I was mentioning before, that oh, you've got it so good in China because you've got your Canadian money. Your money's worth way more than Chinese money. What about these poor Chinese people that work for RMB instead of Canadian dollars or American dollars or whatever kind of dollars they may be? Well, yeah, that's true. I have, but that's not really white privilege. That's Canadian privilege. I've worked for Canadian dollars all my life, and I've accumulated enough that I can live in China very comfortably. So is that white privilege? No, I don't think that's white privilege. Is here's one for you. I was driving my e-bike down the sidewalk, going against the flow type thing, and this is a no-no in a lot of places in Nanning City. And if I was a Chinese person, the police officer on the corner that pointed at me, and when he points at you, if you're a Chinese person, that means stop, and he comes over, takes your keys, gives you a ticket, and you go over to the person at the desk and you pay that ticket before you can go. Well, with me, he pointed at me, I smiled and waved, he stopped, he smiled, he waved, and away I went. White privilege. Yes, that's definitely white privilege. Why did he do that? I have no idea. You're going to have to go ask him. But another thing, when you're driving down the street and they have checks on e-bikes, and whether you're too big or you don't have a license, or you've got lights out, you've got you don't have rear view mirrors, whatever, So they're pulling over everybody. And I did this in a video just the other day, well, about 2 weeks ago, and said, well, when I go through this check stop, they won't even see me because I'm a ghost. How could they see me? I'm Gweilo 60, I'm a ghost. You know what I mean? Joking around. But everybody that went through there sort of got stopped and checked and whatever. And when I went through, they all sort of turned around and turned their heads like this so they couldn't see me, and away I went. This goes on a regular basis with me in Nanning City. I doubt if it would happen in Beijing or Shanghai or Guangzhou. Well, maybe Guangzhou, but you know, the bigger cities. But in the smaller cities, I doubt that any police would stop a white person unless they're doing something terrible. So white privilege, definitely white privilege. Going into a place like Bo Bai in 2005, I was in Bo Bai, and I was the first foreigner ever in Bo Bai, China, and talking to a bunch of old people, and these are like 80, 90-year-old Chinese people. They said, yeah, we've never seen a foreigner here before. And the one guy had really never left Bo Bai County, and he says, you're the first white person I've ever seen. So, but I digress again. But when I go into town, like because it's sort of a county, it's a rural area, but they have little village squares type things. So I went into one of these village squares back when I used to smoke cigarettes, and I was going in for a pack of cigarettes. So I borrowed my cousin's motorcycle and bombed into town. Well, I got hoarded by so many people. I didn't have to pay for my cigarettes because they wouldn't take my money. People wanted to take pictures with me. People wanted to just come and touch me. White privilege, curiosity. When you see a police officer turning around because he doesn't want to deal with a white person, or maybe you're getting in. Oh, here's another one. In 2004 and 2005, when Wei Feng and I used to come back to China, we used to basically exclusively use hotels because we didn't have our own place at that time yet in China. I'd go into a hotel, and there'd be a lineup basically just about every time we go into a hotel. They shuffled me to the front of the line every time. Why? Because I'm a foreigner. I'm a white foreigner. They didn't want me to have to wait. Seriously. So, white privilege? Definitely. So, and I used to say, well, no, these people are here in front of me, so, deal with them first. And that would just cause it to take longer. Even the people that were in front of me wanted me to go in front and get it over with so they could get on with their daily stuff, just for the fact that the longer I said, no, don't do this, the longer they had to wait. And I learned that after a number of these little episodes. So I would just basically, when they say go to the front of the line, I just go to the front of the line, and that was just the way it was. So white privilege in China, definitely. And you look at how the Chinese people are treated around the world, and basically in white-dominated Anglo-Saxon countries, and it's not good. Over the years, they've done head taxes, they've done exclusion acts, they've basically treated them as a second-class citizen. But then those white people come to China, and the Chinese people treat those white people as a first-plus class citizen. So they reciprocate in a different way, rather than treating the white people that they see in their country differently. Treat them in a poorer manner. They actually treat them in a better manner. So what does that tell you about the Chinese people? A lot of times I get approached by Chinese people on the street, in a restaurant, in a bar, just going through my daily activities at the gym, whatever. A lot of them just want to check out their English skills on somebody that's an English speaker from, regular English speaker. Others are curious about who you are, how you got there, what's your background, everything about your life. Some are interested in you in a boyfriend-girlfriend type thing. This has happened to me over and over again throughout the years, where I've been approached by Chinese girls and, you know, hi, are you married? You know what I mean? Say, well, yeah, I'm married, you know. And I actually did a video about this. How many times will I get approached in a 10-minute time period when I'm doing a video? 11 times. You got to pick the right spot, mind you, but still, you know, the idea that you have that white privilege, people want to be around you, people want to know what you're about. You're given a break by the police on a lot of things. You know, it's one of those things that, yes, when you come to China, if you're a white person, and if you're not a dick, you know what I mean? You know, treat people with respect and whatever. You do have privileges that the regular people in China don't have, and sometimes they're very subtle. You know, just people being extra nice to you, helping you out. You know, when you go for a bowl of soup in the morning, where people are expected to go and grab their bowl of soup and bring it over to their own table, the lady at the soup place will take your bowl and bring it over to you for, you know, just subtle things like that. That you know, a lot of people won't understand or won't even acknowledge or see. I see it because I've been around for so long that I know what it's like here, how people treat each other and how people treat foreigners. And I can see that white privilege is something in China, but not all of China. As I said before, it could vary from place to place. I'm basically talking about Guangxi province and Nanning. I'm talking about you know, an off the beaten path city of only 7.5 million people. And I see it with my friends, where you know, we can go in, we can sit down, and we're served first. You know, we get that extra acknowledgement from other people. Getting taken out for supper and excursions and stuff by other people. You know, some are friends, some are acquaintances, some you barely even know, and they want to be seen with a foreigner. Maybe that might be what it is. That you're sort of a status symbol still in places like Nanning. Well, I've got a foreign friend. You know what I mean? You know, so it might even, if you're friends with a foreigner, a white foreigner here in Nanning and Guangxi province, it might even elevate you in the eyes of your other Chinese friends if you have a white foreign friend. You know, so I see that. Like, I get taken to, like, the barbecue I went to with Xiaoping and Ling, all of the city workers, all of these guys are like, you know, fairly well to do. If I was just a regular Chinese guy, these guys wouldn't even look at me. But because I'm a white foreigner, they want me in their group, and they want to play with me, they want to drink with me, they want to barbecue with me, they want to, you know, go gallivanting around the countryside with me. And it's sort of like what we're doing right now, you know what I mean? So, yeah, you know, it's one of those things that if I was sitting in Canada, I would just be a nobody. And I know that. When I'm in China, I'm Gweilo 60. Well, it's not just that. People acknowledge you, and the authorities treat you better. You go into a hospital, a doctor will look at you first. You know, all of these things, and it all sort of accumulates into white privilege. And that's another video from beautiful Guangxi province. Yeah, I know, like, guys, this is this is what we're doing today. We're just going around this rural area because it is so freaking beautiful here. This is what this is our day today. We're in about a half an hour, we go for breakfast, and then we spend the rest of the day just out sightseeing in this area. So that's white privilege. Wow, not really anybody can do that, but that's I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for a certain degree of white privilege. And that's another video from Gweilo 60. If you like this video, as always, like, comment, subscribe, push that share button. Thanks for watching. Hit the bell. Oh, and my subscriber count has been going down, and my view count has been going down. I'm not getting any love from my viewers lately. I don't know what it is. Maybe they're getting tired of listening to my daily rants. But this last week it hasn't been daily, just for the fact that I've been on the road for just about a week, and I have had no time to actually make content. and get it out on the internet. So show me some love. Oh, hit the bell, resubscribe, and never forget to put a couple bucks in the children's Patreon account. It's for a good cause. Poor rural Chinese children, they just need a helping hand. Thanks for watching. Bye now.